Hello and welcome to your new favourite podcast, Old Bull, Young Buck. My name is David Mundy, the Old Bull. And alongside me, for whatever this year brings, is my kooky co-host, the Young Buck, Griffin Logue. How are you, mate?
Barra, well done, mate. You nailed it. I'm here, ready to see what the year brings us. And so myself and you, a legend of the club and soon to be, I hope. We've also got Brett with us. He's going to be our media man, our producer. So if anything stuffs up on the tech side, then we'll be looking to Brett. That's not our area of expertise, so neither is this, but let's see how we go.
No, we're leaning very heavily on Brett for that. It's going to be great, but I'm really excited, Griff. I feel like we've got a really great dynamic as host and co-host. I think we're going to have a great year, talk to some really interesting people, have some great chats.
I think so. It's exciting to see what the year brings. And, I'm keen to give the viewers a good insight into what goes on between the four walls and the big mix of characters that football clubs have. We'll start from the weekend anyway. Dave, you pull up all right? It was first game back for first 6-day break, sorry.
Yeah, 6-day break coming into the North Melbourne Glen Hall game this weekend and pulled up pretty well, mate. Obviously a fierce contest at Adelaide Oval, but it's nice to walk away with a win. Our second one there in 10 goes. So, it's nice to get a win on the road.
You don't really have an excuse not to pull up good because you do get the business seats every week, don't you? For viewers out there, a number of seats get divvied out to the football club and they decide. Don't know who decides, but generally it's Dave, I don't know what the criteria is.
There's a bit of a process there, Griff. Yeah. So we got 8 seats on the way back on the weekend.
Yeah.
Which obviously is only a small fraction of our group, but Joe Bridie is your man if you're looking for an upgrade.
Yep.
He's the one who ultimately decides. But there's a few categories that go into it. So age, I feel like I'd tick that box.
Well and truly, mate.
Experience, games played, I feel like I'd tick that box.
That's fine.
Game day role, putting on your body on the line, I feel like I'll tick that box.
Yeah, there's a bit of conjecture with height. I know that height comes into it because
that was on the next one,
because Sean Darcy and Tab sit up the front, and so does Rory Lobb. Myself and Brennan Cox, we're putting our body on the lines every week down in full back, and it's a high pressure game down there.
Brennan real stiff, I reckon.
We are stiff, mate. Because,
Brennan.
Myself as included, because we're sitting in these tiny little pews and it's not quite the same. So every time I hear you say that you haven't pulled up great, I don't really quite understand it, mate, because you're sitting at the pointy end of the plane, son. Just enjoy it.
You're an undersized key back, mate. You're 188 or 189, aren't you? I'm clearly looking down at you from 192.
If I'm 189, mate, you're 5 foot F4, all right? Don't bring my height into this.
Sorry, speaking of the game and how we've pulled up, have you managed to extract Tex Walker's stops from your back?
No, not quite yet. There is a genuine foot imprint of his boot. It wasn't from the great mark, and hopefully mark of the year that he took good on him was a nice mark. And it will, if it ends up being the case that he does grab the Hilux or whatever it is this year, I'm not sure it's still the case. Hey, it's still publicity, and it's good publicity.
Do you feel like you deserve some royalties from that, from Tex, like a 10% cut or something?
Oh, just a carton or something we'll do. Okay. But
we'll let him know.
We'll let him know, and it was good to be back out there though. I enjoyed it. The first game in just under 300 days, I think. So pulled up nice. Obviously, would have been pulled up a bit nicer if I was sitting at the pointy end. But hey.
No, well, regardless of your flight home, mate, it was great to have you back with us on the field. I think Adelaide last year was your last one, wasn't it?
Thanks so much.
No, it was great.
It was Adelaide last year, yeah. That was my last game. So
beautiful. Well, hopefully we don't miss again this year. And get some continuity. It'd be great.
Did you just want to touch on the podcast and what we're actually going to do, Dave?
Yeah, so we've mentioned before we're leaning really heavily into Brett for the tech side of things. We're learning the ropes here. This is our first go. We're really excited about the chats we're going to have, as we said, but our goal and our hope is that we can bring the viewers and listeners some of our unique characters within the footy club here. And
that's one thing that a footy club does have, as I've touched on. There are some weird units that kind of exist, and we all have to coexist as this big freak show of creatures within the footy club. So
we've got our fair share of them as well, don't we?
We are, yourself and me included, as the weirdos. Our relationship, Dave, it's pretty different. You're obviously double my age, give or take a couple of years. So it's a weird kind of dynamic to have, but we're not too dissimilar. We both drafted as fullbacks.
Yep.
Obviously, I was the right size. You're bit of an undersized fullback, which is fine. Elite users of the footy,
Clearly.
which is good. It just begs the question. We didn't talk much in my first 2 years. I just wanted to know your first impression of myself. It would have taken real hard to break the barrier. You're an approachable guy, but you are very nice. But in terms of actually talking, we didn't talk a lot until I kind of sat in the front row at the meeting. That seemed to kind of stimulate a bit of trust and interest and intrigue from you. So what was your first impression of me, mate?
Yeah, mate. Well, you got to understand, like, the persona and the image that you project onto other people. You come in as this big, gangly, huge hair, big hairy arms, like man-child.
Hairy forearms.
A 188 centimetre man-child.
88.
And you're still delirious from your draft combine 2K as you were stumbling over the line.
3K, yep, under 10 minutes.
Yeah, so you're still delirious from that months later. So I automatically question, like, what's our recruiters? What are they thinking? Bringing this kind of person.
Shout out Dave Walls and Brad Lauder was at the time. Great fellas.
Lordy, thanks guys.
Great fellas in the office there. So it was interesting, but
but clearly you mentioned it when you grabbed the bull by the horns and come and sat in the front row and displayed some of your intellect and willingness to learn. Certainly appealed to me. I think from there we've really grown. Our relationship has really grown.
I think it is different because prior to meeting, it's a kind of different dynamic because you'd have no idea who I am. But growing up in Perth, you kind of you understand Freo and where it comes from, and Dave Mundy's a big name and in footy, and so it has been very exciting to kind of. I don't want to pump up your tyres too much, mate, but moving into it, it was very exciting to kind of see the big names of the club, and it's something you kind of still. I'm sure I'll be pinching myself in 20 odd years. Now I don't really care because you're just a wiry old fox. So I've got not much respect for you other than the fact that you're a great player. But
cheers, yeah.
But I'm sure it will be something that I'll look back on and privileged to kind of want to once again share this podcast with you, but share a locker room with you, mate. So
thanks, mate. I'm sure I'll be the same at the end of your illustrious career.
You will be, mate. Mark my words.
Go again.
Yep.
Yeah.
Watch out for the cords now.
All right. Well, let's get cracking. Our first guest. I'm really excited about our first guest. He's one of our more spooky units within the playing group, would you say?
Oh, not spooky. I'd give him honest. He's just the most honest character you'll ever find.
He's lovable. He's very lovable.
Lovable bloke. Hits you right between the eyes. He's always got a sore back.
He's come from a long way back.
And
he's already established himself as a Fremantle champion.
Yeah. Not just a good bloke, but a great player as well. Reigning Doig medalist. Cuss, Lukey Ryan.
Mate, thanks for having me, Lounge.
Thanks
for having me, Dave.
How are you feeling, Luke, our first guest?
Your hands are very sweaty like yours, Dave, and I'm looking forward to it, though. Be good fun.
How'd you pull up, mate, after the game? Good performance on the weekend. You go all right?
Yeah, I pulled up pretty well. Now I got you down there. I don't have to play on the bigger blokes, so you've helped me out a fair bit, Griff. Might get an extra couple of years out of my career now, so it's good to have you back.
Excellent. We'll launch right in, Luke. We'll start on a somewhat serious note, but Doig medal last year, obviously a huge year for yourself. Let's cast our minds back to that special night. How to make you feel? How was your night afterwards?
I was very nervous. I actually didn't think I was going to win. I thought Andy was a shoo-in. And then, to get called up was, really honoured and feel privileged to be part of the names that have won it, including yourself and Fife and all that sort of stuff. So, it was a very good moment for me and my family. And, I loved every bit of it, especially celebrating with the boys and my player sponsors and the fans were there. So it was a really good night, and I'll never forget it.
Excellent.
We touched on that list. Pav, Fifey, Belly, Mundy. Mate, do you have the best rig out of all those boys?
Well, I reckon Belly's got me covered. If I'll play next week, Belly. Just keep in shape. That's it. Work
Beautiful.
hard.
And odds on to go back to back, you're saying earlier.
Nah, definitely not. I'm a fair way off, I think.
one for the good guys at least. Good things happen to good blokes with Lukey. We'll touch on a bit of where you came from, Luke. You're a Melbourne boy. You love the cafes. You love your poachies in the morning. Is that your normal go-to?
Yeah, poachies, chorizo, bit of a hash brown and eggs.
Don't drink coffee.
No, I'm not
hot
a fan
chocolate.
Yeah. Oh no, not even really hot chocolate. Just more of a straight up orange juice, man.
Yeah, and you used. Speaking of brekkie, back in the day when you were a tradie, mate, your breakfast did consist of a big, large V. Tell us about that. How'd you get through the day?
Yeah, so I used to be a carpenter and get up about 5:36 after training as well. So it's hard getting up in the mornings. I used to get like a 4-pack of either V's or Red Bull and a Mars bar in the morning and a sausage roll just on the way on the way to the first work site, and then by Smoker, I'm having another V or Red Bull or whatever it is, and another sausage roll, and then next thing you know, we're at Macca's for lunch, and I'm at the pub afterwards. So it was a good, healthy routine.
So not much has changed.
No, it's pretty much the exact same.
So honest, mate. That's what we love about you. Now, I did see one little bit of footage pre-game. It was actually, or was post-game for a celebration, a little dancing video in the hotel just from the weekend. We've got that now. Being from Melbourne, mate, just have a look at that. Run us through it. What's going on?
It was my mum's 50th birthday, and I was in a good mood, and I don't know why, just music was going really well. It was 80s music, and I don't know, I was just really up and about, and just thought I'd have a dance and send it to the boys. I didn't know Cox was going to screen record it, so stitching up a tree there.
Cheers, Coxie.
Yeah.
You can't trust the big fella, can you? So
No, you can't.
The 80s classics, your go-to.
Oh, well, that was the only one that was on in the TV. It was I think it was like Max or something, the station. It doesn't really turn up much either.
Wasn't the 5:30 a.m. rage back in the day?
No, it wasn't.
So going with your mum, and it was her birthday. Happy birthday, Diane, of course. And your old man, Nick, is a good character. Yep. Your house back's on the Flemington racecourse. Tell us about his involvement with the track.
Yeah, so Dad's been there for 25 or 30 years. So, he had his anniversary this year. I'm not exactly sure which one, but he's been there since he was a kid. And he's a grounds and gardens manager there. He works with full of flowers and the grass and all that sort of stuff. And we live on the racecourse pretty much, and go to the races every now and then when I can, and have a few beers and a bet, and really enjoy it down there. It's good fun.
You touched on how he does a real good job of it, mate. Has much of it rubbed off on you? Because the last time I was at yours, we're out the back where your dog, your beloved canine, had ripped up the back lawn, and there wasn't much lawn left. It was just a pigsty, and Bombside had hit it, mate. So what's going on there?
Yeah, I actually try and keep it pretty tidy, but it's just my dog. It's caused me a bit of trouble. As you can tell, you've seen him a few times. He's a bit of a nightmare. My dad's actually coming over in 3 weeks, so he's going to try and get me some new sprinkler systems and all that sort of stuff hidden away from the dog, so it might save me a couple of grand.
Hang on, so your dad's coming over and you're putting him to work?
100%. I'm not doing it. I've got a bad back.
So we'll touch on the Flemington track again. Do you have any good bets, good racing stories, anything that kind of springs to mind when you think of the Flemington track from a young age? You would have been raised up there. Mick would have got you to work, and
it's good. I used to, when I was even younger, at the Melbourne Cup, Dad used to drive me in for that one race and drive me straight back out, and I'd still get goosebumps every time. Even my dad still gets goosebumps once he hears the gates jump and the crowd roar, and it's a pretty special feeling, and I love going to them. It's good fun. You should go down there, Griff, and you too, Dave.
Yeah, I'd love to. It's quite topical because Tab Touch is obviously a club partner. If we're running a bookie on who's the weirdest teammates,
Tabsy would be $1.01.
Tabsy?
Yeah, Tabsy would be $1.01.
You'd be able to cash out early on that, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Who would you multi him in with?
Oh, jeez.
Quinella. What's your Quinella for the two weirdest blokes of the club?
Yeah, I don't know. What do you reckon?
You've got Tabs. Tabs takes a cake. I think it's
Tabs easy.
It's
I reckon your housemate Brennan.
Yeah, he's a bit different.
He'd be right up there.
Yeah, Griff.
Yeah, Griff, definitely.
Yeah.
We
trifecta.
Spooky units.
Yeah, Moose is a weird vegetarian.
Put the big Moose in
there.
Doesn't eat red meat, so he claims. So have to put him in there for sure.
Yeah. All right, we'll move on to our next segment. We're calling this Quick Hands, Luke. We're going to fire some questions at you and see where it takes us. Good luck. First one.
Over the journey, Luke, you're a stylish cat. How much money have you spent at Culture Kings?
Oh, I don't know. 200 a stint, maybe 300 a stint, I reckon.
How many stints?
Couple of stints a week.
Every away trip we go to, we try and go to a Culture Kings.
Yeah, nice.
I find that.
We saw some of your moves earlier, but who's a better dancer out of you, Griff or Coxie?
Yeah, I've put one of these up on the Instagram stories a couple of times to see who voted. Griff won hands down, so Griff takes a cake by a fair bit.
Yeah,
and then Coxie, and then I'm way down. I'll probably be behind you, to be honest.
Did Griff get you to put those up? The ones with long curly hair and his Speedos?
Yeah. Anything with his shirt off, he really wants me.
Quick fire questions, mate, not statements.
Sorry, mate.
We know the best dancers. Not much of a competition there, Coxie.
Jeez, Coxie. Nath Wilson, number 14, locker next to you. What's that like?
Yeah, it's good. Me and Willow are pretty close. He's always good fun. Old Roo Legs, that's his nickname. So, well, now it is. That's what his mum calls him. So I call him Roo Legs now. It's it's good. Locker buddy into Willow. Good fun.
We've got a weird one. Which Olympic sport would be your best shot to win a gold medal?
Sumo wrestling in there, Griff?
Sumo, they're not
400.
You'd be the discus thrower, wouldn't you? You'd be able to hoof a discus, shot put.
400, I reckon. Just head down, ass up, and just run.
Yeah, I respect that.
What's the last text you sent Mind you, this is a PG rated show. What's the last text you sent, Lukey?
Get it up.
I was actually to get a find to where I'm buying one of those, as you know, those
Kegs.
yeah, beer keg for me home. So
Right.
trying to find the best website for that. So I wouldn't mind getting one of them at home.
There you go.
Any bar.
Nice.
Shout out to any keg distilleries out there that are gonna
hook us up.
Quick plug, nice.
Boys
beer,
come round.
beer of choice. What do you whack in the keg?
Current draft, I reckon. All Great Northerns.
Honest. Yeah,
that's very honest.
Nice. So, Luke, coming over to Freo, you're a mature age recruit. So you'd obviously played a bit of senior footy back in Melbourne. Tell us where you played, what position you played, who your coach was, and where you wish you played.
Yep. I played for a few clubs. Mundy Valley when I was 16, I was playing seniors there. We've played in the grand final. We lost that by a few points. So I moved on to Maribyrnong Park where I was playing there for about 3-4 years, senior footy. And they actually recruited me by calling the wrong Luke Ryan. There's actually another guy down there that they actually meant to get, and I ended up there somehow. So I was lucky enough for them.
Nice.
It was good. Best time of my life, really. Just played with my closest mates. Played senior footy. We weren't that good, but we're always around about. So I had Brody Hine as a coach, who I used to go for Collingwood as well. And when he was my coach, I was wrapped. I was a bit starstruck, like I am now, sitting next to you and all that sort of stuff.
Thanks,
I just played half back or wing. Didn't really man up much.
Great.
Tried to roll off. Loved being around the boys, working on the Saturday, rock up to the game just after work and play, and then have a few beers with the boys, and just live a normal kid's life really. And it's good fun. Loved it.
You work Saturday and then play.
Yeah, so I'd work from like 6 to about 12, get there ground about 12:30, and then play at 2.
No wonder you got a sore back, mate.
Yeah, good money too.
You're in strife now.
I used to love working. It was good fun.
Get double time on the weekend or something. Is that how it worked? Or?
Yeah, it actually was.
Okay.
Half a day's a full day.
How much for a game as well? So you're clearing a bit of
Yeah.
cash on a Saturday.
Yeah, can of Coke and a hot dog.
That's right. About the same now then. It'd be remiss of me not to mention your best mate Coxie. If you're joining us here, mate. What's it like with him? Sum him up in a couple words, mate. What would you put him to?
Simple
Brian.
Yeah, simple Brian. Weird. Yeah, I don't know. You're pretty close to him as well. He's a strange unit, but he's good fun. He's just like me, sort of thing. We're just sort of relaxed.
Give us the best and worst thing about living with him.
He's dirty. He smells. Best thing, he's just funny. I don't know. He's always gets me up and about. We just feed off each other, sort of thing.
How long have you been living together?
3 years, 3 and a bit, I reckon.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I used to live at us when I was living with Tommy Sheridan as well. He always used to sleep on the couch before training. It was good fun.
You love him so much. He was your date to your Brownlow.
Yep.
Last year. That was your first of many appearances there.
That was me
second. Sorry, legend. All right. How was that? Was it good fun there? I was a bit of a stranger one.
It was a bit weird. It was still good fun though. Obviously getting to see Lockie. Was it Lockie who won it? Yeah, Lockie won it. It was a good night, and so Dave was there as well. A lot of the other boys were there, so it was good to have a few beers and catch up with the WA boys. It was good, but different to normal.
Yeah, now, Lukey, after most games, a lot of the boys like to eat out a bit and splurge on the diet, relax it a little bit. Do you want to talk us through what happened after the Hawks game last week?
Yeah, so obviously me and Coxie drive in together. He was running a bit low on fuel, and we thought you can get, I don't know, at least another 20 to 30 Ks out of a tank. We actually went through the drive-through and thought we can get through, and his car just turned off. And lucky enough, there's a fuel station right next door to it, and Coxie had to go buy a jerry can and fill it up. And he ended up jumping in the front seat and made me fill it up. So
set the scene for us. So you're in the line.
You've
ordered your feed, yeah?
And then bang, his car's turned
off. And then you got cars banged up behind you.
Yeah, some bloke see how of course happens to Freo running out of gas because we're in our Freo gear. And I said, oh, here we go. And no, they were having a laugh. And it was about 5 or 6 cars, so they wouldn't have been too happy.
All right, let's talk about a bit of footy again then, Lukey. Before we go, look ahead. The Crows game on the weekend, Adelaide Oval. Good win, obviously, from the boys. What's your thoughts? How we played, the result?
Yeah, it was good. I feel like we're starting to get into rhythm a bit more. Having Griff back, Lobby back, just structures up a little bit better with bigger boys. And I think we've a lot of pressure on the midfield from yourselves, and felt like we're just on top the whole game. Even when we were down, I just felt confident that we we're going to get it done. And as JL said, our structure stands up really well, and if we keep sticking to that, our footy's just going to wear him down. And in the end, in the last quarter, it did, and it stood out really well.
Yeah. Griff back, who's obviously a big target for us back there, and he's a big man. But what was your honest thoughts when Tex rose to the heavens, put him on a poster,
Oh,
took a dangle on him in the first quarter.
Be honest as well.
I thought it was a great mark. I didn't honestly think he could jump that high, to be honest, the old legs. It's pretty funny. If it's going to happen to anyone, it's going to happen to Griff.
I think he knows the ground well. There must be springboards at the bottom of the ground where, wherever he jumped them from me. But would have been nice, a bit of support from the teammates, a bit of grounding or something along the lines of that. But I'll cop that one.
Was your man, mate?
It was my man, but
I love it.
At least you're in the highlights anyway.
That's a
Griff.
good mark. Put that in the highlights.
Mum, I'm on telly. Mum. And this week, Lukey's our Len Hall game, one of the biggest games of the year. It's our 25-year anniversary of having a Len Hall game. This is going to be a big Anzac ceremony pre-game. Have you played many Len Halls?
I reckon I've played two. Did we play Bulldogs?
Yep.
Yep. So they're massive games, especially in front of our fans. It's going to be loud and electric, and respect to our heroes before us. And I look forward to it and run out in front of the fans of the boys.
All right, and finally, Lukey, just to wrap up your little bit, there's been a few comments on some of your on-field antics. We've got a video of it here. Do you practice this, manning in the mark?
In the shower, in front of the mirror. I do practice both of them, so I might have to change up.
It's not effective.
No, I've come up with a few other ones.
Interesting.
I don't know if I really want to give them out now. There's a few coming.
Yeah,
That's
great.
all I'm saying.
I love it.
Got a few in the mind.
Super impressed by the flexibility in the hips, mate. Especially considering you got an old man back.
Yeah.
Great job.
I learned that off you. Fossils.
All right, well, that's it. First podcast done. Well done, Griff. Thank you, mate. How do you think we went, Lukey?
Done very well, Dave and Griff. It was very good.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Luke.
Yeah, no, you're a good man, Luke. Cheers.
Thanks for having me, boys. I feel very honoured. It was good fun.
All right, well, then we're going to get out of here. It's been fun. Can't wait to do this again with you, Griff. Thank you again, Lukey.
Thanks, Cuss.
Thank you. There you go.
There you go. Cheers.
We'll see you next time.
Very sweaty, Dave.